So it's a lot video I do about like a city sketching, and this time let's draw some interiors. So here first for warm up, this 1 point perspective. Так. Так, so this most basic situation here, this like a 1 point perspective room. It's like inside box. Так, let's find first. So it's like this vanishing point. It's also show us where is horizon line. So okay, so over here horizon line. Then make some kind of perspective grid for this vanishing point. And here is kind of perspective grid. Here is very simple, most basic one. It's like z axis going to vanishing point, and y axis is just vertical lines. Z axis or x axis is just horizontal line. So just like this. Also sharing my invention, just like this soft eraser, and mounted to back of a pencil, and especially when your pencil is getting old, so it's kind of became funny, easy, comfortable way to draw with this kind of short pencil, because it's not only comfortable to hold, it's also kind of nice weight balance, because it feels like on this side it's like almost is super lightweight on the edge of a pen, of a pencil, so it's so nice to control pressure. So you put this kind of heavy eraser on the back side, it became like super cool to control pressure on a pencil. And also it's a eraser after all, so very cool. My recent invention. Так. So this is kind of locker, open locker for wardrobe. Yeah, what is nice for this kind of practice, it's to practice drawing stuff properly. Because like when we in a creative regime, like when we want to draw something like creative drawing, all this stuff, we tend to be loose and fast, and it's hard to kind of hold this like composture, like hold yourself together to be like slow and throughout kind of process to draw everything properly, you know. So we need to kind of this discipline from time to time. Like here still I'm little loose, little fast, right? Sometimes I will like really push myself to slow down and redraw many time. Redraw like same perspective situation until I will feel it's really properly drawn. So it's not any shortcuts, not any kind of sagging elements to it. I want to be to make sure it's like absolutely solid kind of construction. Maybe something like this, like I just today let's draw some of these stairs. Just draw bunch of pages just to trying to figure out how to sketch the stairs properly, and I finally kind of find it so I can really draw it correctly and it looks neat, not dirty and kind of disparate. So it's kind of important practice. And still I will draw it again. So this kind of process is important to get this new skill, which like at beginning it feel absolutely uncomfortable, and then more you do it, it feels like it's never been hard, you know. So we need to kind of get to this feeling like when breakthrough, like when at first it feels impossible, and then it feels like it was never hard to draw the stuff. It was feel like kind of natural and simple, like a drawing box in a space. Also, Scott Robertson, he say like if you want to draw something fast, you need first to draw it very slow. So kind of you will kind of instill this new skill. It's better to make it slow and first, so you make sure you make it correct, and then you can lose it a bit, make it less correct, but by decision. Better it's this way than if you never ever draw it correctly, you know. So you keep just repeating the same mistakes. You only like get this kind of illusion of have some kind of skill, some level, when you actually keep repeating. So this is my first warm-up interior. It's like, I read here his name, somebody make it Edgardo Esquilano. Yeah, so I don't know where I find this photo, maybe in the Pinterest somewhere. It's just nice to practice. It's like, it's might be a room of some character in a comic book. Or if I want to urban sketch some interior, it's also kind of similar scenario. I have some more reference, some more complex views. Quiet. Busy. I'm busy. This is also interesting how it works. This process of learning and drawing stuff. It's again, it's so often about this accuracy and slowing down. We need kind of little train ourselves to draw new objects. So that's why sometimes we can have this kind of sketchbook where we draw different objects which we are never draw before. So you can draw anything like your computer mouse, phone, birds, books, shoes, anything. So all these kind of objects which actually you will need to draw later, like if you make illustration or painting. It's kind of, you know, daily objects. So when you will draw painting, you might feel like kind of like, oh, it's so many this kind of boring objects I need to draw. I want to kind of avoid it, or I want to make it faster as possible. So because it's because you never draw it before, so it's like little feels like a burden, right? So to fight this thing, to avoid this kind of feeling of burden and the pressure, we need to draw these things before, and we need to draw it like more focus, maybe, you know. This is kind of my way to deal with it. So it's like if you find some time for practice when you just will sit and slowly draw this object, you will kind of create this memory for yourself. So next time you will draw this kind of objects, like something similar or same, it will not feels anymore like you like obliged and like like you're like like a burden, kind of, you know, when you're like, ah, I need to draw this thing. No, you will like more like focus on fun side of it instead of a side which like you're like a little stressful when you draw it first time. It's like little stressful and little like requires some attention, like focus. Same like a drawing people, for example, or vehicles. If you draw not many times draw people before, like start to drawing people is a very big pressure, kind of like you know, it's like I remember it's like a lot of this video on YouTube, like how to start to draw figure, or like you ask your friends in the art college, like which is the best way to start to draw human figure, you know. And answer for this is every way, every possible way, it's best, you know. It's because it's just like you understand it when you draw like couple like 100,000 people figures, because you will draw it like every possible way. You draw it upside down, you draw it like a stick figure, you draw it like bubble, like a box, like I don't know, like a water, any kind of way you can find. Like you was trying to find kind of how it's best for you to draw people. Sometimes like how, which way will be faster, which way will be more convenient, which material you use, whatever. Yeah. So problem is just because if you less draw this, more you uncomfortable with this. More you draw this or something similar, more you feel like like natural kind of with this stuff. And if we look any professional artist, eventually like after like the 10,000 hours and years, you know, of drawing everything and being like really um, focused and diligent kind of, you will actually will draw everything around you. Eventually it's like not so much stuff to draw, it's everything, it's kind of same and repeat with like all these objects around us, they kind of same stuff, just a slightly different variation. So eventually if you really like draw like often enough, you will get this experience like Kim Jong-un, you know, like when you already draw like so many and you have this kind of experience of drawing everything around you, so you can draw it again and again with it looks like you don't have any kind of resistance, kind of. Okay, so here's some jackets, shirts. Так, some circle. So imagine like if you will need like for illustration or comic book, you will need to draw some interior, and ask yourself kind of did I have this experience of drawing objects which usually interior will contain what it might be, like a computer, shoes, I draw shoes here, or books, or anything kind of all this, like bags. And if you didn't, okay, so this is should be in your kind of practice plan, what you should draw sometimes. You know, like I have this folders with draw pictures and photos of something I want to draw, like I want to have experience of drawing, and use it as like this kind of folder, which you often sometimes when you need to practice. So sometimes you want to copy maybe some artist technique, so you have this folder with your favorite artist. Sometimes you want to practice color, sometimes perspective and stuff like that. Let's try this one. Oh, sharp pens. Okay. Okay, so here's like a two vanishing point perspective situation. So look, where's horizon line? Horizon line here is about in the middle. Так, and so again, I remind y-axis is vertical, z-axis is depth, x-axis is left and right, white kind of. So here, y-axis is just vertical lines, and z and x, they both have convergence towards the horizon line. So I just need to establish this level degree kind of angle kind of for each axis. Так, so let's see. So this will be, let's say, z axis. So vanishing point is somewhere here outside picture plane, and usually just kind of eyeball it. It's like, imagine like if you don't see this vanishing point, how this convergence will follow same vanishing point. So it's all for z, so it means it's going below horizon line, same it will go like in opposite direction when it's go above horizon line. And for x it will be opposite direction here, so let's say something like this. So again, depends on your requirements. Sometimes you want to be more precise with the grids convergence. Sometimes it's not important. So just to show convergence, which is look relatively right, it's look right. So it's enough. You don't want to make it precise. So you kind of find your own balance, like depending on your task, like what kind of work you want to do. Usually, like when you draw something very complex, it might be important to be more precise with the perspective grid. But when it's just like tables and this kind of tables and chairs, it's very basic. So now I make composition. So here we have this kind of sofa. Here, this kind of computer table. So this kind of table on the left and sofa on the right, they're kind of making this framing for this table with a bicycle. So I need to make sure he will have enough space. So again, like for my kind of task for myself here, I just want to recreate situation and recreate composition, and for this case I deconstruct composition, deconstruct this scene and recreate this scene. So in my recreation, it's like I say, like I will see which elements I put inside and which elements is really important, and so I will make sure they're readable. This approach helped me not to be like over perfectionistic when I will, because when you don't have this kind of deconstruction, reconstruction approach, when you then you will just copy everything. You will just like, oh, I just need to copy this line, and it's kind of less artistic, and it's much more kind of resource. So it's require much more resource to control all this not necessary details, you know. So here we have this guy. Here it's a bicycle. And also this way kind of practice when you deconstruct and reconstruct, it's closest to creative process when you draw, when you make your own picture. Because when you make your own picture, you kind of make a new construction, kind of, right? You will need to make this kind of arrangement of stuff in a way you want to arrange. So if we will only copy what we see in front, we're not training this skill of creating the image. So kind of as in my previous video tutorials, I just snap in all these details to grid. So you see kind of, because all we have in perspective drawing, all we have is three set of line, which is follows this y, z or x. So I just need to know which lines are follow this direction and which lines they will be like in between, so they will have like different direction. And so I will draw them in different angle. Yeah, you have like a ketchup on the table. It's weird. Maybe it's like cedar. Yeah. And again, like if I draw this, I kind of also try to imagine like if I draw this as a scene for my comic book. So, or it's like a concept of my character, like workplace or studio, or where is he? Might be. Because if I think kind of this way, it also adds this feeling of like having experience of actual creative process. Something similar to like when say in a sport, if I read somewhere they say like a baseball player, when he think about game, like about his moves, how he move in the training and the practice, when he just think about this after actual training, it's also improve, like make him improve in his training, because like thinking about stuff, it's very close to actual practice. I mean, like when we imagine this process, it's also train our brain. So if you during practice, if you also imagine it's like this is actual work, I think it's also adds this extra feeling, enhancing kind of your practice. But again, it's like I told before, also you kind of look for yourself. Sometimes you want to remind yourself like it's only practice, so you don't need to be too serious. Sometimes you can like pretend like you're actually doing real work. It's just like different approaches, and all of them is useful. You just can choose. Так. I'm talking about basketball and I draw huge guy in the office. 2 meter tall guy. Maybe 2.5 meters. Так. Screen. Also, it's kind of this thing about some people tell about importance of failure. So when you during like study, you need to trial and fail, because making mistakes is also like an unavoidable part of education process. So when you copy somebody work or you study reference, you make mistake and consider mistakes as a like normal part of process. It's not like you're doing something wrong. It's like you do everything right because you practice. So making practice, it's most right thing you do. And making mistakes, it's kind of this right part of your practice. Yeah. So it's wrong as a part of work, but it's absolutely correct to practice itself as a process. It's absolutely right, adequate part of a process. Again, as all practice, what I tell again and again, making mistakes also you practice to get accustomed to making mistakes. Because more mistakes you do, more you how to say, less you are fragile and less vulnerable to mistakes. Because you already did so many mistakes every time, thousands, hundreds, thousands mistakes before, so they will not demotivate you, you know, and like break your heart. It's like, okay, just one more mistake. It's like one mistake, another mistake, but there are a lot of correct and right decisions you make, and this also so I mean, like, you cannot escape from that too. So you make mistakes, you make correct things, and this is your experience. Kind of. So here we have this slanted surface of ceiling. It's like in two different angles. Again here, horizon line in the middle. So again here, like vertical lines, vertical, horizontal, horizon. So it's just 1 point perspective, but we have like two levels here and slanted roof. So it's like a little more complex than box. So maybe I will start little from composition, just to make sure I will put everything I want in a picture. Because like in the previous, like, because I little lost with the composition sketch, objects somehow get different proportions, and due to also to gigantic, so I can spend a little more time to arrange all elements in the space. So I want to make sure elements will have better relationships. So it's like kind of eyeball in perspective, but later I will make vanishing point and I will double check all angles here. Because I know without vanishing point I might make many mistakes. And again, it's like kind of it depends from task, like for how much you consider it mistake. It's just look more loose, you know, when you you don't make actual perspective grid and you just try to eyeball convergence and perspective, all objects will look more cartoony. So I have sofa here, then table here, and this sink. Maybe move it more here. And carpet. And a fancy chair. Like a James Bond villain chair. Yeah, so what I also like considering here, I want to make sure it's like this pillar here and this wall, they're not they have like these nice shapes which is not merged together in an awkward way. So then this one here and then this thing here too. So I want to double check it will have this good relationship. Okay, so now, okay, vanishing point is here. So this again were a horizon line. So this is my like back wall here. See this point? It's a back wall. This is back wall. It's like a back side of this room. Yeah. Okay, so in these vertical lines and horizon lines, I even don't want to draw for this grid because it's kind of obvious here. It's not so complex image. I will draw if like I have a lot of vertical objects like you know, like a Hong Kong, for example. They have like a lot of these vertical buildings and a lot of vertical lines. So it really helps to make some grid. So you will make sure your vertical lines are not wobble. Oh, here also lamps. Very cool. Lamp. So here also have chair. So have like vanishing point somewhere here. Actually very small, but I don't know. Let's try to show it here. Here's interesting. Let's finish here. Let's go like this. So for stairs also it's like let's see. Yeah, so it will be same vanishing point here, but higher somewhere. If we follow direction of this line, and it will intersect with this vertical line from vanishing point. So it's somewhere here, vanishing point for stairs. So maybe here was already, I put it about here. So each step here for stairs, of course, will follow vanishing point, right? But it's very subtle thing here. So in closer to horizon line, less we will see this surface. I guess there are a lot of very cool reference about with this different stairs. We'll make tutorial in the future. Because stairs, it's really, I think it's essential to practice sometimes to draw stairs, to have really good kind of a firm hand on them. Because like even like urban sketching, I sometimes have a view outdoors with some kind of fancy stairs, And if you didn't practice drawing stairs, it will really like pain to draw them. You will like spend a lot of time to measure all this perspective. But if you already draw it a couple times, then it will be easy. Same with ellipses. If you feel like trouble drawing ellipses, you should really practice, draw more ellipses, because it's really common element in everything you draw. Even if it's just like element of construction. So often we have this kind of curvilinear elements, and having experience with drawing ellipses, it's really help you to draw curvilinear stuff. It looks. There. Yeah. Same this thing. Uh, Imagine it's like have a vanishing point somewhere on the horizon line. Yeah. On the table here. This. Back with books. So you see, like, again and again we have sofa. It's a very common object. You draw it, it's really make you more and more fun to draw sofa. Oh, hello, John. Yeah, cool. How long you follow me on Instagram? And here have small table with magazines, I guess. So here we'll go carpet. So here this wall go behind the stairs. Kind of chair. Yeah, so in this for angle of windows here, let's use this dot line. Oh, cool. Yeah, my Instagram recently get little slow. I don't know, like not much attention. Like before, I have like 50,000 impressions or 70,000 for each picture. Now I have only couple thousands. Little something like a shadow ban. Don't know. So it's nice to know I have new followers on Instagram. So here I will move this table to here. And here we have chair. It's very cool interior for some scene in a comic book. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I live in Taiwan, so for me go Taipei very easy. But I live in Taoyuan, so I can take train and go to Taipei. Now I have there like some small exhibition in a cafe. Let's see. So John Kim, you from Korea? It's like Kim, I think it's Korean, right? Yeah, I wish to go to Korea one day. It'd be very easy to go from Taiwan. Oh, let's draw some city view. Cool. Yeah, now everybody know Kim Jong-gi. Yeah, he really, I think he really promote Korea a lot. It's very cool. Yeah, also my favorite movie director, is this Kim Gi-dok. In English, I'm not sure how to spell Kim Gi-dok. He has this movie Iron 8 Iron. It's so cool. He's like really authentic movie maker. Nice, yeah. Yeah, I need to go Korea and I will make like a book, urban sketches from Korea. It will be cool. Like urban sketch collection. Uh, yeah, and I often use this Lamy Safari M medium nib, and also a fine liner. My favorite is Rotring. It's like 03. This Rotring. It's from fine liners. I think Rotring is the best. It's really like ink flow, so cool. So very solid ink. Let's make some shadows. Oh, nice. Yeah, I use ink, and it's a kind of interesting. It's yeah, because ink and black watercolor is totally different, and so let's say I have this carbon ink I use to fill my Lamy Safari pen, and same carbon ink I put inside this brush. So it's like it should be like super little, like, and it's always too much. So even if I put very little ink, it will be too strong. So I will dilute it with two other pens brush, you know, and it's still I will make it 2 times. So when it's like almost finished, I put more water, and it's still nice gray color. Because ink, how to say, this ink gradient, ink shading, it looks very good with the ink line. They're like perfect match together, you know. You can try it yourself. When you use like a black watercolor above your ink, it looks not so good as ink above ink. And still like this one, right? I can use as a background for watercolor. Maybe I will show now. Because this carbon ink is dry, and when it dry, I can use watercolor to put colors above. Let's make some color. It's very simple. Yeah, thank you for feedback. Yeah, I just like to talk about art. Like in Taiwan, I don't have much artist friends, so uh, just in my area, you know, like so make YouTube. It's kind of helped me to have this conversation about art. No, it's not, you know, it's not only like just conversation. It's like I want to speak out this things I learn and these things like in my mind. So it's all, you know, it's like kind of help to better understand and improve. So, is so fun. Yeah. Yeah, interaction with people and also like quality interaction is important kind of to have this community in which you can speak about things important to you. Так, so here also shadow. Because like in my kind of experience, when I start to talk with people what I interest in all this specific about drawing, it feels like it's going too far. Usually people don't interest in so much information which is not related to their life. This like, why he talking about, you know? It's kind of, you know, it's like people don't talk about this stuff. You need to have this kind of small talk. So this kind of beauty of art college is you surrounded with people who also think about stuff you're thinking. In a good case, sometimes it's just freeloaders who watch phone all day. In this case, you run from this college. Some people just want, you know, be student only because it's like a easy and fun. This kind of best time for like best time period, you know, when you don't care much and everybody young and energy everywhere. I think it's too boring. Be nerd is much more fun. It's more elite. Being like elite nerd forces. Yeah, okay, these colors look weird, but anyway, just for example, how it works. So you can put shadows with ink and after put watercolor above it. Yeah, and nerd is not like, maybe if I'm not sure I use this word properly or not, but I mean, when I was in art college, like it was you can see different groups. Like in one group, they have this game when it's called have a good skill is important. So um, you will have respect based on a skill, on a level of your um, artist kind of ability, you know. So how good you draw, how high your grades and stuff like this. But in other group, it might be totally other game. It might be like don't know, like dominance, some kind of. So it's like not related to art at all. So they will like have competition about like how cool they look and how much attention from their peers they will have, something like this, you know. And if group like that, I find it's absolutely waste of time in college or university, because people totally lost idea of reality. They don't know what is education. They just have a party and conversations, all this stuff. And then when they finish college or university, they realize they don't have any skill. They don't have any knowledge because they were partying all the time. Surprise. Like, it's not magically happen by itself. You need to learn to get knowledge, you know. No, not I'm not always coloring after shadowing. And yeah, I like sometimes opposite. Sometimes I will just put colors and make shadow afterwards. So it's I'm not sure which way I really prefer most, but I think it's also good to have this option. So if you make this gray ink, you can always add color over it. It's kind of just good to know this. But let's, where is it? Like here I did color first and shading after. It just it's situation. Sometimes shading is really you can even start from shading and add line art over shading. You know, so it's kind of you just need to see how it works for particular case. So here's some pink. Okay. So like this. Not best watercolor in the world, but God knows I try, and I'm just a human after all. Okay. Let's see next. Or maybe I just add some fade in here, just for fun. It is. I just like to make this grays, just to practice use only one tone, only one value. Oh, nice. Thank you. All this also, it's my search for comic book style, like process I want to use for my comic book. So I'm looking for this kind of easy technique for coloring. And shading. So I think this currently what I find it's really useful when my picture is light, so it's like this space is light, then I don't need to use ink for shading. I can just make watercolor and after put some shading variations. But if situation is dark, so it's like evening, night, maybe some kind of noir atmosphere, so they have a lot of shadows and they're like really uh, strong. So then I will use gray at first and after add some color. Like this. So here, this picture. So here we have this kind of like 3 vanishing point, let's say, situation. So y axis vertical lines, they will have vanishing point, and okay, so it's show here. So somewhere here is vanishing point for y-axis. So it's like all vertical lines, they converge to this vanishing point. Z-axis will go this way, and X in the photo here, actually X is little curvilinear, but okay to draw it horizontal because it's very little curvilinear. So this is grid for this picture. So, and here again I will, at first I will better make sure to compose all stuff here, because it's a lot of details. First I make this very general composition sketch. Yeah, this very cool view reminds me Daniel Warren Johnson recent comic book was called I just forget, like about wrestling. Yeah, so maybe I make less space for bed. So bed will be here. This here. So you see, it's kind of, I make this kind of bubble shapes without thinking much about perspective. Just proportions and location is what I need in this stage. And it's like, and I also purposefully make it more abstract to break this temptation to make it like detailed, you know. So I like make it more like cloudy and formless, because like it's just proportion and placement is what I need to figure out on this stage. Okay, so kind of this. So make it little lighter. Now I can discover vanishing point in my composition, you know. So again, how it works, right? So instead of looking photo and look like, oh, where should be vanishing point, no, I will like arrange my own composition, and then I will look according to my composition what is perspective will be best fit here. So here is a vanishing point for y-axis for vertical lines, and this picture don't have horizon line. Let's say it's not, it's almost like not existent here. Okay, then x, it's this, and z, let's establish z axis. So because this vanishing point, yeah, again, here is interesting moment here. So I find this y-axis, right? And so this vanishing converging lines, and z grid here, these lines, they will kind of use this vertical line as a part of perspective of direction. So this z-axis will merge with this vertical line, which just goes through across kind of y vanishing point, and then it's go opposite direction. So it's some kind of vertical horizon line, you know what I mean? So here this z lines go towards this vanishing point on this line somewhere. So if like if this z axis will have vanishing point on this line like this, but only like on this picture plan I don't have space to find this vanishing point, so I just imagine somewhere here behind this picture plane will be vanishing point. Well, only I need to arrange and extend kind of for this axis here. So if this angle here, same I project to here, and then I draw in between. Okay, so this kind of perspective grid here. Так. So you see, like, I have perspective grid, I have like some indications for placement stuff, and then following these indications and perspective grid, which suggests me directions of lines, I just fill details inside. Oh, it's actually not so difficult as it looks. You just need to break it down to elements and then draw what you want to draw from it. So instead of approach it not critically, you know, like when you just like, oh, I want to copy this how it looks. This way is too hard. But instead of this, you should look and say, okay, I see this, and I will draw it. And something like less important, I will ignore, or I will see if I want to put it inside my drawing. And if you see it's enough space, or if you if you're interested to include these details, you include them. That's all. So uh, consider it's like you choose what you want to take from reference and put inside your own drawing. In this way, it's less intimidating And with this approach, you can draw everything, because you can just simplify it to you simplify it to level which is convenient for you to draw. That's all. So with this method, I was teaching kids like with 0 level, you know. So you take a reference, no matter how complex it looks, you just say, okay, we take this part, and like you know, draw computer like this. You know, you don't need even like draw very super amazing line. It's just make it look like this computer screen, a keyboard. It's keyboard, something like that, you know. Table, okay. This is also table, you know. So if you use this approach, this like logical, like kind of, we need to implement this logical aspect to work. Without this logical aspect, without this analysis, uh, we draw uh, like blindly, you know, like without reimaging, without breaking down reference, we will just kind of blindly copy everything we see without uh, without process it, you know. Because like when I draw with this approach, um, I draw something from my head. So I look reference, I take it from reference, I put it in my mind, and after I take from my mind and put inside my picture, so it's processed information. How it works? It works this way. You need to uh, verbally kind of recognize what you draw verbally, you know. So you say like, okay, here is freezer, here is table, here is this thing, here is that thing, and ask myself, do I want to draw it? Say, okay, I want to draw it. So all I need is just to find place for it in my drawing, and I need to make it look clear enough, close enough to original, so it will be recognizable. So this kind of clear enough to be recognized as a table. You know, I can put here printer. Say, wow, it's like a printer machine, you know. So what elements make this be recognized? This way, when we draw, our work have like artistic quality, because it's processed by us. It's a result of our um, thinking. It's not just like mechanical copying, and you know, like mindless copy, when you just like, oh, I wish I can be like a camera, you know, like my dream is to become a camera and printer, kind of this. We don't need to compete with the camera or printers. Так, So here, for example, you see there is a round carpet, and I look at this carpet and I ask myself, do I want to draw this? Do I want to include it in my picture? And I say like, okay, maybe why not? I just interesting element, but I don't need to draw it exactly here, you know, and I don't need to be like this, like big kind of like artists will do like how many millimeter between here and here, or how many, what is angle here, how many millimeter here, so you see it like calculate. And no, I think like, okay, I want to put it here or I want to put it here, and so like, okay, um I'll just put some kind of around carpet here, you know. This way it's much more fun, and I'm a boss here in my drawing. I want to draw, I draw. I don't want, I don't draw. Same like when you draw urban sketch. You look around at so many stuff, so many information, and you choose what you want to take and put in your work. And I actually understand all this from drawing outdoors, from drawing urban sketches. Because like outdoors, it's especially let's say obvious, kind of evident, because when you draw something like real environment, it's actually like limitless. It's endless amount of information and details. It's you like standing in the street, okay, so many objects, so many points of view. You can sit, you can stay, you can little walk here, little walk there, and it's like so many compositions. Like, how can you show it? What you want to include? So it's not frozen picture, you know. So it's all on you. What you want to take and show in your work. Like, so you need to be specific, and you need to limit amount of information on your own. You must be this kind of key figure who will choose what you include and what you ignore. Yeah, and then I realized, yeah, of course, it's like a fundamental thing in every kind of art. It's all about composition, about color, about it's in the music, it's in the writing. Like you write in prose, same. You choose what you mention. You choose sequence of elements, how you present them. All elements you kind of mention in your work as elements you choose to show. You choose to kind of show in your work. So always we practice this approach. Again, it's like deconstruction and reconstruction. kind of very vague, not clear what happened here. So I will just put some my stuff. Some mess from with the boxes. And maybe here one more flower. That's like watching Dune. What do you speaking in Freeman language? There's some photos on the wall. Some picture. And a door. So here it's a door. Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I think this next picture will draw next stream. Next time we'll make. Next time when I will draw interior, have some more reference here. So push likes and share this video if you want to see more drawings in the future. Ah, nice. Yeah. Thank you for feedback. Yeah, yeah. I want to share this stuff. It's like takes years to really clearly understand it. So now I want to tell it for other beginners so they will faster to understand these principles, which is very essential. Um, and they really help a lot to have like this clarity for process and like more control over your work and like creative part of your work, you know. Because like I was always like this years thinking like, you know, you draw, and after you look you work and you see like, okay, this work is better than previous one somehow for some reason, and you look as other work next time and see like, okay, this time it's worse than previous one for some reason you're not sure why. And then I was like trying to figure out this, and I realized it's all because like when I have this clear understanding what I'm drawing, and I like deliberately present it like in an interesting form, then it's a good work. When it's like more conscious and more deliberate process work, then it will be better than sloppy kind of sloppy and mindless work, you know. Mindless work you will just repeat and kind of struggle for something you're not really sure what you want. But when you have this like approach, conscious approach, it's help you to clarify your task and your goal, so you can follow kind of, you can more better track your process. You can better understand like how far you from your goal, like if you like with this important and not important elements, like you only make sure you draw what is important, and when you see yes it's okay, you figure it out, you manage to draw it properly enough, then rest details they're not so important, and this give you a lot of relief and also uh, understanding of situation, kind of, you know. You better know like when you finish your work, you better know like how close you were to your goal, and what maybe you can do better next time. Okay, anyway, so thank you for watching. Thank you, John, for your conversation. The next stream we'll do soon.